What's up, everybody? Lucky Lefty Podcast, Honora Boys. We are in the building and brought to you by Honora Whiskey. It is HonoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. And if you're going to celebrate during March Madness, make sure that you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it. Lucky Lefty Podcast. I am Sean Davis, SD2 Mics, that dude, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik ZAIRE. We are brought to you by Honora Whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. It's that premium American whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up, the like button. It helps with the views. And then share, let everybody know about Lucky Lefty Podcast. Leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. We are the home in the misguided passion and forever committed to making sure that we spin it. Courtesy of Bleav Network, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Tap into our audio side each and every day as well. And we are presented by FanDuel. FanDuel.com, or you can download the FanDuel app. If you go to FanDuel, what you know, three things for sure. Notre Dame is the odds-on favorite to win the national championship. CJ Carr is the odds-on favorite to win the Heisman. Notre Dame is favored by 16.5 at Lambeau Field, week 1.
16.5?
Wisconsin Badgers.
Wait a minute. Wait, 16.5 already?
And probably going higher. You can find that and much more with FanDuel. FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app. Left. What's up, my brother? How you feeling today?
Man, 16.5 out the gate is crazy.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been spring ball. And they saying we coming out 16.5. Yeah, I don't know. If we doing that to people, they don't even, that's the thing. Where are they looking at Wisconsin's team at? They haven't even touched grass yet. 16.5. Oh my God. Well, I'm feeling good seeing numbers like those. And then just watching these games, man, March Madness really lives up to its name every year.
Yeah.
I mean, the first, second round felt like I mean, can it get much better?
Yeah.
You know, and I don't even think it's been the surprises that have been making it great, just the games itself, all the games. The Iowa game versus Florida, I thought was a really good game.
Hey, man, let me tell you something.
While y'all playing
you're right level. Hey, it's not our fault that the higher teams lost. Now, it probably comes to an end this weekend down in Houston against Houston. Like it's literally just playing Houston in Houston. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I mean, something had to change because y'all was about to ride y'all sweet way to the finals.
Man, that's the way it was looking. That's definitely the way it was looking, right? But it has really been a very entertaining March Madness. Games close, down to the wire. The UConn joint was really good. The Florida-Iowa joint was fantastic. We saw the Kentucky game we talked about. That was fantastic. Of course, I'm happy with the Illini being in the Sweet 16. I think they have a shot. If they can hit shots against Houston, they have a shot because they are the bigger team. But that East region out in D.C. this weekend, oh my God. Oh.
You got Duke and Michigan in there.
Michigan State, St. John's, Duke.
St. John's. Yeah, St. John's put off a great win.
That was a dope game against Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible game against Kansas.
I think it's the coaching. The coaching is what stood out and made these games really close. Because the coaching in the St. John's and Kansas game was why only a great coaching effort could win a game like that. With a underrated team. I don't even think they were that underrated, but
I mean, look, Kansas, Bill Self, they were down 16 in the second half.
16, yeah.
Came back to tie it up. So, like you said, the coaching matters. For people out there that just depend upon talent and recruiting, coaching matters. Trust me. Illinois can't get over the hump because we don't have the coach to get over the hump. That's just my opinion.
It's going to take more than coaching to beat Houston, though.
Yeah, they're going to have some kahunas down in Houston. It's going to take some grit.
Do you think that matters, though?
What matters?
It being down in Houston? Because, I mean,
absolutely.
basketball.
Absolutely. Depending upon the mental toughness of the team, yes, it matters.
I think it would matter more for a team like Nebraska. Nebraska's got a great crowd. They looking to do some things. So
Nebraska isn't intimidating as a program.
No, the fans, they come out the best.
Nobody's worried about playing in front of Nebraska. This isn't like, come on, bro. This isn't like 100,000 on the football field. Come on, bro.
They add something to the game. Because I mean, are there any real, outside of small school basketball teams, real school fan bases at the games?
Yeah. I think if you really do your research on the 6 schools up in Philadelphia, those gyms and those fan bases are rabid. That's real. They used to have games at the Palestra, and they would play each other. All the teams in Philly would play each other. That's what I'm saying. That's hardcore college basketball. Field house, small field house, fans on top of you. It's hot, it's humid in the gym. Yeah, I don't know if it's too many arenas like that now. I think Fog Allen has that type of feel.
Not too many, right?
No. Indiana doesn't win enough.
But that state arena definitely is.
That arena definitely was intimidating. It absolutely was intimidating when they were a great program. It can get loud. The fans are right there on top of it. Yeah. Man. Shout out. Hey, man, you were prophetic. I'm on board now. Not that they're going to win anything, because they're not winning anything. But this might be, from what I've watched, this might be Neil Ivy's best coaching job ever. And they're back in the Sweet 16.
Yep.
This team has no business being in the Sweet 16. None. They have no size.
What do you mean? You have Hannah Hidalgo.
I said they have no size. None.
That counters. That says a lot.
It does say a lot. She's done an incredible job. And Hannah Hidalgo is doing everything.
But we're smaller, but we can play defense, though. That's the difference.
Well, unfortunately, they're about to go up against some teams that have some size. And it's going to matter.
Who are we worried about?
Left. There are at least 6 teams that Notre Dame cannot beat in the Sweet 16.
Well, we just have to.
Wait. Don't they play Vanderbilt next?
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay, I'm done. Okay.
No, I actually like what's her number? Was it 21? Or it's the one girl. She's super nice.
Michaela.
And she's big.
Yeah.
That's one person. That's one person. We should be straight.
That's all Notre Dame has is one person.
Our one person's a top 5 pick?
Yeah, man.
That goes somewhere.
And that cat Gino, what he has up there in stores this year is just absolutely dumb.
Oh, there, UConn.
It's like
that's just that's attrition of a good program, though.
But they went through a drought, and I'll give it to him. I doubted whether or not he would be able to get it back to where it is now, but he's done an incredible job.
Paige Beckers, and then that turned them things around.
Yeah, Paige tearing her ACL has something to do with that drought. But they're doing a really good job. And that's it. Both tournaments have been really incredible. Shout out to Shauna Green and the Fighting Illini women's squad. They made it through to the round of 32. They start all freshmen and sophomores. Hopefully they have enough NIL to keep everybody in Champaign and let them grow together. But I'm looking forward to this weekend, bro. And we have the late game.
Is money good in women's NIL? Like, do y'all have
it is at USC. I know that.
Oh man, USC. Oh yeah. That's top of the top. That's probably competing with the football team.
USC is paying money. UCLA is paying money because Lauren Betts is getting paid. South Carolina is paying.
TCU and LSU.
ECU is paying because they took Olivia Miles. Yeah. It's about 10 schools.
I'm about to say it's not many, but I know there's a few schools. It's not many.
Yeah, it's about 10 schools paying in women's. So today is a pro day.
Does Notre Dame pay?
Nah, I don't think they would compare. I wouldn't put them in the top 10 in NIL in women's college basketball. I wouldn't think.
Wow.
No, I wouldn't think. There's no way you let that roster be the way it is this year around Hannah Hidalgo, and you're not. And no.
What you wait?
There's no way. There's no way. Because once Olivia left, you could have used that money to go get 2 players.
Shoot, I don't even think we was paying Olivia that.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't know money was good like that in NIL women's sports. I just thought they, get 100,000 something.
Yeah.
But with the WNBA is what, like $1 million now? They get $1 million.
Yeah. 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 So, yeah, man. But the crazy thing is, like, Olivia's getting ready for the draft, man. Like, TCU lost to West Virginia. West Virginia was last year. You forget West Virginia was a really good team last year.
They just like underdog type.
Yeah, that TCU lost in the round of 32.
Wow,
they lost in the round of 32. Yeah,
that's surprising.
Yeah, man, Paulo, stop being corny, man. Just because somebody went somewhere and didn't advance. Oh, what? Olivia Miles balled out. She's a top 3 pick in the NBA draft, and she got money that Notre Dame didn't want to give her.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that the staff didn't do a good job of maintaining the relationship amongst the players. Sonia Cintron was flat out honest about it. She said, she just flat out was like, it was ridiculous the way things got. She was like, what are we doing? My fault, Paolo. I thought you were trying to
straight out ridiculous that was going on.
Sonia was like, man, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like that beat.
And shout out, by the way, real quick, my boy Jerron Simmons at Wright State, man. Put them boys, we got 2 games in. That's all good. Wright State, baby. 2 games.
Ohio was the first state to be clearly gone from the tournament. Quickly. The entire state was like, bye-bye. But no, let's get to it. Pro Day. We're going to talk about the Pro Day results. Pro Day took place today down in South Bend. All NFL teams were represented. Multiple head coaches were in the building. But we have heard about Jeremiah Love. We have heard about him going top 5. We've heard that he was out of the range of the Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. We saw what the Chiefs did at running back, getting 2 guys in NFL free agency. But then I got word today that on multiple occasions, there was a certain team holding conversations with Jeremiah Love multiple times, like just almost running up behind him, like, yo, everywhere he went. Let me ask you one more thing.
That's right.
And at first, when I heard about this particular team, I was like, what? But then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, that would be nasty. I was like, oh, and this particular team, I already know who you think it is, because you said the Jacksonville Jaguars and we were talking about it. And that's incorrect. It would not be the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though they just lost their starting running back to the New Orleans Saints.
That's right. We low on the draft. We got to think top 10 teams. What's the top 10 team looking at?
So, if I'm not mistaken, they draft. Do they have a first round pick this year?
I thought it was Tennessee.
The Jacksonville Jaguars do not have a first round pick, if I'm viewing this correctly. Wow. Okay. The Chiefs actually have 2 first round picks.
Oh, okay. They can still get another running back.
They can get Jadarian if they want to at 29. But I want to get back to this. Like you said, there was buzz around the New York Giants at 5, buzz around the Tennessee Titans at 4, definitely buzz around the Washington Commanders at 7.
Ooh.
We
Washington.
know, him and Jaden. Yeah,
that'd be kind of nice.
That'd be kind of nice. I agree with you, Lev. That would be nice. We don't think 8 and 9 we don't think 8 and 9 are in play with the Saints and the Chiefs, right? Now, according to multiple people, the Cincinnati Bengals spent a lot of time with Jeremiah Love today, and he
looked like a Bengal. He looked like a Bengal,
and they picked 10. They picked 10, so they might have to make a trade to move up a few spots. But when I thought about Joe Burrow, Jeremiah Love, T. Higgins,
Jamar Chase.
Ooh.
They just want an all-star offensive squad. That's all they looking for.
That cat Al Golden. That basically telling Al Golden just hold teams to 24.
Just hold team. Yeah, just hold team 24, man.
If we can hold them to 24, we're gonna win this game.
We're gonna win the game. We're gonna put 30 at least a game.
At least.
And that's at 10. Oh, I mean, they need to go Jeremiah Love and all offensive players. I mean, offensive linemen.
Well, they need to jump more than likely. They can't jump all the way up in front of Tennessee. Right? Unless the Jets now 2 can be a spot. Unless the Jets are willing to move down because they're not getting a quarterback this year. If they do get a quarterback, they would like to get him probably between 10 and 15. They already have a 16th pick. So that means they can move down to 10 and have the 10th and the 16th and probably pick up maybe another second rounder and maybe even a first rounder next year, depending upon how the points add up.
Yeah,
they already have the system.
That was for 27 in some way.
Yeah, that would be. I thought Kansas City getting their hands on Jeremiah Love would be dangerous. Which situation do you think would be better for J Love?
I mean, he's got the best two. Oh, the best 3. Washington, Kansas City, or Cincinnati. Those are offensive teams where they'll use Jeremiah Love in many different ways. I think Washington will use him more running the football with Jaden. Patrick Mahomes will, be pitching it like – I don't think they will use him like Isaiah Pacheco. They will use him more like a I don't know. I just think when you have Pat Mahomes there, J Love becomes secondary, which is dangerous. J Love haven't been secondary in too many times in his life on the football field. So
yeah,
he might be in a Chiefs situation, a third or fourth best option. In Washington situation, second or third best option. And what's the third? Cincinnati, shoot, fifth or sixth best option. You talking about on offense? I mean, you got Jamar gonna be one, T. Higgins. You know, you're gonna have your running backs in some aspect. I don't know, but I think the best for him will be the Bengals, only because he'll get opportunities in situations he can win in one-on-one. I don't think he won't get doubled. They won't be trying to take Jeremiah Love away necessarily. So I give him some freedom. Same thing with the Chiefs. He'll have some freedom to run around, but I think they would Keenan a little bit more because Travis Kelce's old, you know. In Washington, I think he would get the ball a lot, honestly. I think he would get the ball more with Washington than with Kansas City or Cincinnati, for sure. And I think it would be like their scheme on offense, that Jaden Daniels, Jeremiah Love combo in the run. So I think he'd get the ball more in Washington. I think he'd have more success, like, overall in Kansas City because you got the better quarterback, but you'll put up numbers with the Cincinnati, if that makes sense. Yeah. You'll get the ball the most with Washington. You'll probably put the best numbers up with Cincinnati, but you'll probably win the most with Kansas City. So what option would he like, you know?
I just think the Bengals are very interesting, bro. You can't load the box. You can't load the box against the Bengals. You just can't. You can't load the box. Washington, you would definitely see a loaded box because I don't know who their receivers are. Debo is not the same. And your best two players are in the backfield. So
yeah. Your best two players, exactly. So he'll get the ball a lot in Washington. Just, you know, I think he'll win more with Kansas City because you got Pat. But also with Cincinnati, you're right. Your numbers are going to be pretty good because you can't load the box.
Can't load the box, bro.
You're going to be dealing with 5-6 man boxes basically all year. Unless one of them, you know, because they're trying to throw for 4,000 yards a season. So off of that average, Jeremiah Love gonna be making a lot of linebackers and safeties miss one-on-one in the box. I would think, you know, I would think.
Yeah. Lucky podcast. So let's talk about these pro day results. Great job, man. Great job by Ian Book today. Ian Book was absolutely fantastic, I thought.
He went out there and threw, huh?
No, he pretty much was, you know, co-hosting today. And he did an incredible job as an analyst, really breaking down things, did an incredible job in interviews. He told a story about him and Brandon that I actually didn't know, that I thought was really heartwarming, and spoke to what Notre Dame is all about. And we'll hear that coming up in the second half of the show. But I thought the best day, of course, Jeremiah Love didn't do anything. Jadarian Price did the shuttle, and then some field work catching passes from CJ Carr. CJ Carr was out there, which I saw a picture of Aaron Glenn, New York Jets head coach, eyeing CJ Carr as he was going through the field drills with the wide receivers and running backs. Maybe, you know, having a chance to draft him next year, getting an early look. Malachi Fields did 15. I expected more than 15 on the bench from Malachi Fields. He did the shuttle at 4.26. 4.26 is actually pretty decent. Will Pauling stole the show, left. He ran a 4.37.
Right, that's what But yeah, that's what I heard. Will Pauling was the man.
Did you see a 4.37 on the field this year?
I don't know. He was running open a lot of the time.
He really was. He really was.
I mean, he was running wide open a lot of the time last year. So maybe because he was 4'3", he was that wide open. I don't know. But that's the interesting thing about Notre Dame when it came to receivers these last couple of years, is that speed has always been a hidden factor. Brandon Lindsay was fast. Equinemius was fast. Will Pauling clearly was fast. But the problem is you never see it on the field. The only time you saw speed at receiver on the field was Will Fuller. That's the only time I can remember. I'm like, man, he's fast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because Will isn't the fastest dude that's came through Notre Dame. Probably not the fastest dude, wouldn't be the fastest dude on the team right now.
Yeah, I think someone said when Will got to Notre Dame, he was like a 4.5 guy.
No.
High 4.4s or something like that.
Will was never slow.
Well, I mean, if you consider 4.5 slow, then my bad.
No, I'm saying we talking about Will. We talking about a guy.
He wasn't 4.3 when he got there, was he?
He just was he was never no slow. I call slow 4.5 for Will because Will was a guy that was like, it was never a situation where he was one-on-one, where if he was within 2 or 3 yards, he wasn't running by you. It didn't matter who was out there. So I'm like, that's real speed. And it was in the game too. It wasn't just like that was I just thought that was super unique about Will. But yeah, that type of speed, I don't even know how you classify that because like I said, there's guys on the team that are probably faster than Will right now. Maybe that has to come through the quarterback activating that. You know, I mean, we had me, Deshaun, Ev, all strong arm guys throwing it 60 yards down the field to Will. Like, So we got to put it on display. You know what I mean? When's the last 60-yard bomb we threw at Notre Dame? I don't even remember. So I think it is time for that to come back. We have the guys for it. But Will Pauling running a 4.3, I'm not surprised. We had EQ, Miles Boykins, and Chase Claypool run 4.3s and never saw it any time on the field at Notre Dame. Never got to see it. We were all surprised. So finding a way to activate. Now, I think CJ having the ability he does can help these guys turn it on. Where we won't just be pro day surprises. But that goes back to why we need a receiving threat at Notre Dame. I mean, my goodness.
Oh, man. Well, let's get back to this. I wish I saw 4.37. He had a 42-inch vertical, a 10.8 broad jump, a 7.01 3-cone, and a 4.31 shuttle. Those are some explosive numbers. And I think he'll get drafted. 22 on the bench press for tight end Eli Raritan. That's about par for the course, what I would expect from Eli. His 3 cones really good. He actually had a good 3-cone and shuttle, 7.16 on the 3-cone, and then 4.37, which is 600 higher than Will Pauling's shuttle, which shows you, he can move pretty decent. And he still, I thought he was getting back to 100% from recovering from the knee injury. And I think he still have the best of Eli Raritan. He still has the best ahead of him, in my opinion, for his career in the NFL. Of course, Emil Wagner, Billy Schrauth, they did field drills. Billy Schrauth, there's no reason for Billy Schrauth to run a 40. Billy Schrauth is just going to maul you. He's just going to maul you, bro. Emil Wagner.
They brought in that Q.
Q was there today. Yeah, I saw Q was there today.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I just want to do this stuff. You want me to do this on Sunday? You want me to run the 40? I want you to do whatever that is on Sunday.
Yeah. It was pretty cool that Q was there helping them get through everything. And I thought Gabriel Rubio, from what I saw, was absolutely amazing. Look, his 40 was 5.25, but he did 26 on the bench press. His vertical was at 26 inches. Didn't expect that to be great. But I thought his three cone being 7.62 and 4.80 at his size, 300 pounds, that's pretty good. Jared Dawson put up 20 on the bench press. His 40 was 5.08, vertical 32 inches, and then the broad was 9.9. He didn't run the three cone, and the shuttle was 4.65. Another guy that had the second best day, in my opinion, was nickelback Devontae Smith, the transfer from Alabama. He only had 13 on the bench, but his 40 was 4.55. His vertical was 43 inches, and his broad jump was 11 feet. Three cone was 6.84. That's absolutely amazing. His three cone was better than Will Paulins, and his shuttle was better than Will Paulins. He had the best three cone and the best shuttle of the day. His shuttle was 4.14. Great day by Devontae Smith. Absolutely amazing day.
4.14 shuttle.
Yeah, see his day, his numbers remind me of Thomas Harper's pro day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Remember?
Thomas Harper did go crazy his pro day. Because I was surprised how fast he ran too. I was like, wow, you that fast?
Yeah. And remember, just like Thomas Harper, Devontae Smith had injury issues.
Yep. And hopefully he doesn't go undrafted. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are solid. Those are solid numbers, but that just shows you how crazy the draft is. You know, you get so caught up in talking about the first two rounds, and then you get guys like a Devontae Smith with great numbers.
Yeah.
But it can just fall through the draft because it's just you get a bunch of guys, random dudes that be having I don't want to call it random, but you know, it's almost an average to be running fast like a 4.3, 4.2, 4.4 for these receivers and DBs as we've seen from the combine. Yeah. I mean, everybody was running fast this year.
Man, look, the most ridiculous thing I saw, we just watched all of these Miami football players run at the combine. And I didn't see, I'm like, dude. And yesterday, all of a sudden, all of these dudes are running 4.3s at the pro day.
Yeah, Devontae's running a 4.2 something. Like, come on.
I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? We just saw them in Indianapolis. Hey, come on, man. Like, stop. If Notre Dame's 40 is notoriously slow. Like I hear players complaining about their 40 time.
What, at Notre Dame?
Yeah, like, dude, I ran faster than that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the calibration is for their laser, but yeah, that's why Will Paulin running a 4.37 is absolutely
right. Dudes is running. Yeah, it's this home field advantage. Everybody's times get a little sharper at pro day.
Yeah.
Except mine wasn't sharper at pro day. I was like, what? Crazy 40.
Jalen Stroman. He had 14 on the bench, 4.69 on the 40, 36 inches on the vertical. Broad jumps 10.3, three cone 7.18. That's crazy. Eli Rarely had a better three cone than Jalen Stroman. His shuttle was 4.41. I'm just Eli Rarely had a really good day today, in my opinion, in the limited things that he did. Caught passes from CJ Carlon with Will Paulin. Malachi Fields didn't do anything early on. He didn't do anything. Jake Tefelsky also caught passes. So all in all, man, it's a really good day. Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, of course, the stars of the show. But there are a lot of teams there. Man, I think it was like 4 or 5 coaches were conducting drills with Billy Schrouf and Emil Wagner, both guys who I think are going to end up being drafted. I think both of those guys get drafted just because of the pedigree of Notre Dame offensive line. I definitely can see both of those guys get drafted. Out of the top, let's see.
And Q was there. That's how you know.
Out of the top 7 guys left, I think all of them get drafted. I think Notre Dame gets 7 guys drafted for sure, maybe 8. I think 7 guys will get drafted out of this group.
Shoot, maybe after that 3rd round, the draft gets spooky. So,
it's going to be interesting because this not the supply is not full when it comes to the prime positions of like offensive tackles, quarterbacks, especially early on. So you might see other positions get bumped up in the draft because people know they can get those linemen maybe 2nd, 3rd, get a quarterback later in the draft. But they're talking about Ty Simpson getting bumped up now. People are really trying to make a push for Ty Simpson to be like in the top 10. And, Dan Orlovsky talking about he's head and shoulders better, easily the number 1 quarterback in the draft ahead of Mendoza. And I'm like, all right, now we're doing too much. We're doing too much. But that's just my opinion, love. So, any other thoughts about what you saw today?
I just think overall it's just good to see, the attendance for NFL coaches and scouts to show up each and every year, and to see more guys on our side come out in pro day every other year, and it's one thing to come to Notre Dame and go through the process, but you see a lot of guys get to the end of the road where at least they get that chance for a pro day, So I think it's just a good resume builder, and it's good to see Notre Dame guys getting drafted at a higher level. It's good for Marcus Freeman and the program to put guys out there, and everything's happening.
Yeah, I agree with that. So great day, great pro day. Shout out to Neil Ivy, Coach Ivy. She was at the pro day with a little LV bag. I see you, Coach. And
yeah, we rock with the best now. We rock with the best.
Hey, and she has a much better recruiting class coming in next year. I still need to see some post players in that portal.
Is it hard to recruit, I guess, for basketball? I mean, I wouldn't think so. We've been killing basketball for a minute.
Well, you can recruit what you're known for. What bigs have Notre Dame actually developed and put into the WNBA that have become really good? Because that's what Don Staley is known for. That's the best you could do.
Bree Turner's she got a ring, doesn't she?
Once again, compare Bree Turner to the big players that come out of South Carolina and UConn.
You're saying Asia Wilson? Nobody has an Asia Wilson.
It's not just Asia Wilson.
Oh, and then what's the girl from Indiana?
Camila, the girl from Indiana.
UConn.
UConn produces big post players like crazy. Sarah Strong is like a beast this year. Notre Dame, just like quarterbacks, Notre Dame has to develop that pipeline for big players, post players being developed in Notre Dame. If they don't, yes, it's going to be difficult to get post players to come to Notre Dame. The top ones, at least. So you're just going to have to supplement through the portal, like Notre Dame did until they got CJ Carr and Kenny.
That's interesting.
This popped up left. I don't know if you saw this, man. It was very interesting to see too. Check this out. These rankings. Every school tries to claim that they're tight end U. But this is from 1966 to 2025. NFL production. NFL production. Notre Dame leads in starts. They lead in receptions. They lead in reception touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, and receiving yards.
That's right.
They lead in every category. for the tight end position, and it's not even close. So every Miami, shut up. Iowa, shut up.
Shut up.
Stanford, shut up. Penn State, whatever. Shut up. Notre Dame is tight end you.
By far.
By far. It's not even close.
We just keep it as starts alone. Starts alone lets you know this is not a close competition.
No.
1,000, 1,200 starts. 1,200 starts. Y'all haven't even hit 900 yet. You know we produce a tight end every year, every other year.
And Eli is about to add to it. Heck, we had Cole Kmet catching playoff touchdowns.
We had 2 Notre Dame tight ends starting at the same time.
Hey, man, Notre Dame's absolutely fantastic when it comes to tight ends, running backs, and offensive linemen. That's why those are 3 positions I just don't worry about in Notre Dame. Like, who's gonna replace Eli?
Don't even worry about it. It's getting
don't
filled.
worry. It's getting filled. DENBROCK has it.
It is going to be filled in the next 3 to 7 business days.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even reload. It's a reloaded position. Everything else is like, we trying, we working hard.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Let's go to some interviews. Let's hear some audio from Mike DENBROCK, Chris Ash, Marcus Freeman, and then Jeremiah Love today on Peacock. They sat down with the fellas, Ian Book, and some very interesting things. Let's start with Jeremiah Love. He was asked, what was his best play, best all-time play at Notre Dame and the NFL.
I was the touchdown against Indiana.
Okay, 98.
I would say that 98-yarder that set the tone for.
You ever heard the crowd that loud?
I've never heard the crowd that loud. Never.
Unbelievable.
I would say that was the greatest play of my college football career, or either that or the Penn State run. A lot of people say the Penn State run, but I mean,
gritty run.
I mean, a home game. The stakes of the home game, us against Indiana in the first college football playoff game played in Notre Dame Stadium. First touch, I think that was my first touch for 98 yards.
Yeah.
And shoot, a tud, and that set the tone for the game. We went on to annihilate Indiana.
It was over.
I think we were the last team to beat Indiana.
Yeah, that's true.
We were, actually. So, yeah.
Okay.
What are you most looking forward to at the next level?
The competition. There's going to be a lot more competition at the next level. So I'm just looking forward to testing my skill set against some great guys and seeing how I fare against them. Obviously, I believe that I'm going to elevate and do better than I've ever done before. But, I'm ready for the competition. I'm ready for the work.
Yo, I'm with you, J Love. I think the best is still yet to come.
Mm-hmm. Ready for a Myles Garrett, a TJ Watt, a Dexter Lawrence. All right.
Are they ready for him?
He's definitely going to get better competition.
For sure.
And I think if anything, it's just better competition week to week.
Mm-hmm.
It's an advantageous position to be at Notre Dame because, yes, you're practicing against competition week to week, but your games may not be as competitive as the competition practice. Well, in NFL, you're going to get it every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think the team isn't good on the record, the guy you're going against may be really good. He's just on a bad team.
Thanks. Let's go to Mike DENBROCK. Now, this is going to make you laugh. So, Mike DENBROCK was asked about his tight end, Eli Raritan. And this is what Mike DENBROCK had to say about Eli Raritan.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned the touchdown. So we have a running joke in the tight end room. I think he was tackled inside the 5-yard line at least 10 times. And So our running joke in the tight end room is you would have won the Mackey Award if you'd have just fell forward instead of sideways about 5 of those different times. His progression's been such fun to be part of. Injured early in his career, kind of waited his opportunity to really step into the fray, and once he did, I think put himself in a position to really be paid attention to in this draft, and gave himself the opportunity of a lifetime to kind of continue the great legacy of the Notre Dame tight end position and be the next one in line.
I've never seen someone have as many receptions as a tight end without a touchdown like Eli Rare.
That's his own fault. We've watched many film, many minutes of cut-ups of him running short yards behind the line of scrimmage yards, and it took advantage away from him to scoring easy points. We talking about you 6'7". Heck, on one of CJ's best passes from last year, you literally caught it and fell a yard before the touchdown at 6'7". Great catch, great pass, all of that. You just fell right.
It's crazy.
Scoring. I mean, you didn't even reach your hands out. You got to think, if you reach your hands out, you're about 7'5" fully extended, and you're falling inches before
the play against Pitt, where he's cutting back about to score and steps out of bounds. It's like I don't know what it was. Like Coach DENBROCK said, he got tackled inside the 10, like inside the 5 10 times. That's crazy.
He were to fall at the 5 forward, arms extended, he would already get a touchdown. Standing up, falling from the 5, arms extended, he's got the ball past the pylon.
Yeah. He has some big hands today. I think his hands are like 10.7/8.
Yeah.
If they measure, his radius is crazy.
That's a mid-sorting.
Yeah. I think Eli's gonna be a good pick, like 3rd round for somebody. I think he's gonna end up being a really good pick. He also talked about his running backs and what it was like game planning with those 2 guys in the backfield. This is Mike DENBROCK.
Week to week, you watch a defense on tape and you have an idea about how they might defend you. And then you've got these 2 dynamic personalities in the backfield, and the game starts, and everything you watched all week is kind of out the window because of how special those 2 guys were. But, obviously it allowed us to be, really good in the run game with their ability to run the ball. Their versatility and being able to get out in space and catch the ball added an extra element to that. And then obviously when people were, trying to take those guys away from us, it gave other guys, our receivers and obviously our quarterback, opportunities to push the ball vertically down the field. And that's what we want to be about. So it was a lot of fun having those guys to work with.
See, he just told you right there the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 guys that when you showed up to the game, whatever you was watching, they had to do something different for you. Meaning they couldn't even do their regular stuff. So then your whole thought process is, okay, we got the chest of the run game is open. We're going to run whatever we want to do. And then, like he said, when teams start loading the box, giving us 1 high safety, that's when DENBROCK found opportunity. That's when you see the throws and the one-on-ones. And he even told you, he said, look, even having those 2 catching the ball out the backfield gave us something. Now that's heavy because you got to think about that. This is the guy calling plays for the team this year. His whole philosophy of what he just told you cannot be the same this year. It can't. He's not going to go to any of these games this year saying, yeah, we was watching film and we went out there and they didn't do nothing we thought they was going to do because we got XYZ back there. It's going to be, they look just like USC did with 2 high safeties, and they said, let's play football. That's it. That's the formula. So what's the mindset? Where do you find the opportunities, DENBROCK? If you and I know, SD, DENBROCK knows it too. When we roll out their first game of Wisconsin, you're going to see what? 2
loaded box. Yeah.
You're going to see 2 high safeties, and we're going to be like, Wisconsin's going to tell you, y'all ain't got them 2 back there.
No, you got to prove it to us.
You got to prove it to us. So, DENBROCK, what are we proving? That's the whole joke this year. What are we proving?
Yeah.
Because the defense, they're right. We ain't got them 2. So what are we even proving? CJ? Well, we gonna take them 2 high safeties. What you gonna do with that? This is a whole different game this year for them, bro.
If they go 2 high safety, then the tight end should eat. The middle of the field they should eat the middle of the field wide, just up. Slot receivers eat the middle of the field up. Tight ends eat the middle of the field up.
And that's where in my mind, I'm like, is CJ advanced his game to the middle of the field? We know, just like DENBROCK just said, where the opportunities were for CJ.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing the ball outside, throwing the ball downfield because the box was loaded. That's CJ's whole shtick last year. That is not that this year, which is it's almost like you're starting for the first time again. Because now the focus is on you. Before, you was just playing in the game. Happy to wear the starter jersey, go out there down, set height, be all out. Now, the game is about you. The game is trying to take you away. You're gonna look out there and say, "Where's the loaded box?" No loaded box. What you mean, CJ? We back here. What they say? Move them back. What they say in baseball? Move them back. Ain't nothing happening in here. Cause we ain't seen no film. That's how I would think. We ain't seen no film. So like you said, opportunities in the middle of the field. Now you got to force people to go 1 high. Now you got to take some deep shots that aren't Will Pauling running wide open. But that's where the play got to go. You know what I mean? Now, because they're going to have 2 safeties.
Yeah. You
might have to do a 2-minute drill where we're unlike other teams in 2-minute drills. We're running the ball in 2 minutes. We want teams that will sit there and run the whole we will run the ball the whole way down the field in 2 minutes. So
it was pretty incredible. Yeah, it was a pretty incredible season.
So now I'm not gonna say teams aren't gonna load the box at some points, but as of today, I don't believe any defensive coordinator is sitting there saying, man, if we play Notre Dame, the first thing we got to do is think how we gonna be creative to stop the run game.
Mike DENBROCK talked about the pro day and all of the guys. But before we get to that, he talked about why Notre Dame was so special. And there's a little story in here from Ian Book that I wasn't aware of. Notre Dame fans, check this out. Mike DENBROCK talking about why Notre Dame is so special. Oh, wow. I don't know what happened to that clip. Let's try it again. See if we can get it. All right, here we go. This is
that we'd like everybody on the team to follow. I mean, those guys, selfless in their approach to the game. All they wanted to do was see Notre Dame be successful in football games. And if you work hard enough and you put your heart and soul into winning for more than just yourself, your opportunities will come. And that's something we talk to the team about all the time. And fortunately, both of those guys have gotten an opportunity to really showcase what they're about and put themselves in a position to be pretty high up on a lot of draft boards.
Yeah, the special story, I think that was ahead of that piece, was I did not know left that Brandon Wimbush stood up in Ian Book's wedding. I didn't know that. Ian Book shared that. And he just talked about, even in the midst of a quarterback competition, like his relationship with Brandon Wimbush was so tight that he stood up for him in his wedding. I thought that happens at a place like Notre Dame. And Mike Denbrock talked about it. He was like, dude, a lot of schools talk about brotherhood, but it's totally different. That brotherhood is totally different at Notre Dame. It's just totally
that's a real interesting story.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Stood up for him like
one of his best, one of his guys in the wedding.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Brandon is actually just a really good dude, man. Like,
Facts.
It's hard not to like a guy like Brandon. And then Ian is equally the same as, they the same personality types, so I just know they probably had a good relationship when I was there. They was just young, but it was a different environment when they were young there. I mean, we wanted to take each other's heads off, and then as you could tell, when all the killers left, they became a little more buddy, which is fine. They had a lot of success. It was just, man, Brian Kelly is a different dude. It was just
maybe you guys were the problem. Maybe you, Ev, and Deshaun were the problem.
Me, Ev, and Deshaun were literally the problem. And then you throw in Coach Martin, you throw in these crazy dudes anyway. So, and Denbrock, funny enough, Denbrock's one of the chiller ones. So he's at the top now. Denbrock was the chill one that wasn't at the top. So you had crazy dudes at the top. So we had to be crazy. So it was just a whole different thing. And then you get the cool, fun, chill guys like the Sanfords and the Denbrocks and the LaFleurs that were the guys calling the plays at that time. Then it became a little more chill. But with Coach Martin and them boys, oh yeah, we was ready to take each other's heads off.
Oh man, Coach Freeman also talked on the pro day, and this is what he had to say about why Notre Dame prepares you for the NFL so well.
It's the high expectations. There's high expectations, high standards here. You're going to play coast to coast. You're always going to get everybody's best. And that's one of the unique things about not being in a conference is that you play every different type of opponent. You play in every different type of area. You play in a lot of NFL stadiums, and the expectations are extremely high. And you're going to be surrounded with professionals. The standard here is high, and that's going to prepare you for the next level more than anything else.
I say it all the time, man. Like, just the seriousness of Notre Dame and off the field, academics, the business-like approach, even within the football program. It's impressive. I'm telling you, as soon as Notre Dame players get into camp, they immediately stand out with the way they handle business and their approach to the game, because they've had a business approach to the game of football for 4 years. And so it's one of the smoothest transitions. I hear people with NFL teams all the time talking about, these Notre Dame guys come in prepared. We don't have to start from scratch with them. They are steps ahead. They know what to do. They know how to practice. And that, I think, along with what Marcus Freeman said, is one of the reasons why Notre Dame players do so well and why they continue to be one of the top 6 programs with players in the NFL on an annual basis. Coach Freeman also talked about his 2 running backs on their pro day.
This before described Jeremiah Love. He is truly a unicorn. It's hard to replace that. You can't. He is one of one. I think he could be a first-round running back, a first-round wide receiver. If you want to play DB, be a first-round DB. He's just one of those unicorns. He's such a unique athlete, unique person. He prepares the right way, and he's going to hold a high standard for whatever franchise drafts him. And then Jadarian is such a unselfish, extremely talented running back. You know, every time he got the ball in his hands, he made something happen. He's a great kickoff returner. But you know, you can't have enough unselfish people. All right. And I think in a world that a lot of us naturally are selfish people, Jadarian is so unselfish. He puts his team first, and that's going to reflect in terms of how he plays at the next level. Whatever his role is going to be as a starting running back in special teams, he's going to put everything into it and be successful at it.
I don't know if you ever see this at Notre Dame ever again. Aldrich Estime and Logan Diggs for that 1 year were an incredible tandem at running back. But this tandem at running back is just absolutely bonkers. I think CJ and a young Josh Adams was pretty good. Good 1-2 punch. I don't think it ever gets any better than Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. 1-2.
Because it's hard to find another Jadarian.
That's the point right there, Lev.
Yeah.
Like Coach Freeman said, Jeremiah's a unicorn, but that cat Jadarian.
You're not gonna find a compliment like Jadarian. You can find some stars that are debatable, but you know, and I agree, Jeremiah is one of the better stars as an individual. And it just so happened you had somebody that was, I just don't think you'll find a 2 guard as good as what Jadarian Price is. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it difficult.
Yeah. Yo, I want you to check out what Coach Freeman had to say about Malachi Fields. Check it out, Lev.
Guy that is so consistent, right? And I think the ultimate measure of a person is how consistent you are at what you do. And he came in here every day, worked his tail off, didn't talk much, just went out there and did his job. He could have got the ball every time we threw it, and he probably would have caught it majority of the time. But we obviously had to spread the ball out. But he came in here and embraced Notre Dame. He's extremely talented, and he's going to do some great things at the next level.
He said the man could have gotten the ball every time they threw it. So he confirmed everything we saw on film. Like, this dude was open a lot. He was open a lot all year long.
It just keeps going back to scheme, man. It's like DENBROCK told you, when you go out there and these teams know you got those two guys back there, you're not running anything that you used to. You trying to patch things to find ways to stop something, which exposes a lot of where we had our opportunities, our one-on-ones, and down the field stuff. And when you got talent, guys that have talent, one-on-ones is what you pray for. We just happen to have those matchups a ton. And like Marcus Freeman said, when we had those one-on-one matchups, Malachi could have got it every time. Yeah. But, you know, funny enough, football doesn't work like that all the time. But when it's at Notre Dame, it's going to work like that. Well, shoot. I mean, we'll see now, but it just shows you how special those 2 guys are, man. Like, they just are such gravity that you're going to – guys like a Malachi Fields can shine, you know, where he just needs a one-on-one.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. So that's what Mike DENBROCK, Coach Freeman, Jeremiah Love, and a host of others had to say about today's pro day. I'm excited. Also, like you said prophetically, there was a team that was talking to Jadarian multiple times today, and that team was the Seattle Seahawks. So, watch out for the Seahawks. Watch out for the Seahawks. Yeah. Or
I mean,
maybe
like, he literally looks like a Seattle. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm
or
just GM.
with the Chiefs having two, could the Chiefs take
Kenneth Walker put it. I'm telling you, Jadarian is the best co-star in the league.
Jadarian's going to be a darn good pickup, bro.
He is. He's just going to be
And
fit.
he's probably going to a good team, lower in the first round, a winning team. In comparison to Jeremiah, might go to a team that's not.
What's the fan bet FanDuel on Jadarian going to the Saints or draft bet?
You mean Jeremiah?
No. Jadarian going to the Seahawks. What's the FanDuel on it?
I don't know if FanDuel has that up quite yet.
I feel like
I'll go up here and look.
I win a lot of money. Jadarian going to the Seahawks.
No, they don't have that up yet.
Like he in Seattle.
Yeah. So this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, was a huge recruiting weekend. Notre Dame had over 40 athletes from the 2027, 2028, and 2029 classes. That's right. 2029, bro, is in the building. And I'll start with the offensive line. Talk to Albert Simeon and Cameron Wagner. Albert Simeon is a kid, LSU in Texas for a long time. Southern kid out of Louisiana. It's going to be a tough pull, but I've been saying this for a couple of months. Joe Rudolph has done an absolutely amazing job. And Notre Dame collectively as a staff, they've done an amazing job because every time he comes to South Bend, he becomes more and more comfortable with the idea of leaving the South for South Bend. It's a family-focused, faith-based family. They do everything together. They've come together totally as a family every time he's made the trip to South Bend. So that shows you it's bigger than just him deciding. And what stood out, even when they came out to see him at his school during the contact period, the conversations that they continue to have with him about everything else outside of football continues to differentiate Notre Dame from LSU and Texas A&M. And Notre Dame has a really good chance as he comes back for his official in June, a really good chance to sign this young man on the dotted line and get him committed to the 2027 class. Cameron Wagner, once again, Notre Dame is battling Texas A&M and LSU for his services. This is a local kid, downstate Illinois. Campton, Notre Dame, has a great relationship with Joe Rudolph, raves about the relationship he has with Joe Rudolph. And look, most people think that Notre Dame is leading for Cameron Wagner. He wants to go through the process. He loves the recruiting process. So we'll see where things play out. But, you know, does he stay at tackle? Does he want to play tackle? Is Notre Dame, do they have plans of leaving him at tackle? Those are conversations I'm sure that are going to be taking place when he comes back for his official visit. They had 3 running backs in the 27 class, Lathan Wissington, Trey Segar, and Isaiah Rogers. All 3 really good running backs. Not the most impressive running back crop this year in the 27 class, but I like Wissington and Segar. If they can get Wissington and Segar, I would be ecstatic if they could come up with 2 of these 3 guys. They have some more running backs coming in over the rest of the month. Trey Segar, man, they knocked his visit out of the park. Lathan Wissington. Notre Dame has some work to do coming into the visit. They made up ground. I don't know if I would say they lead for him, but I think they're in the mix. They're in the mix. They're going to get both of those kids definitely back for official visits. Isaiah Rogers, we'll wait and see whether or not he's going to take another visit and come back for an official. The defensive line, they had some studs, 27 through 28, my brother. I mean, some absolute studs. KJ Green, ZAIRE Forstall from IMG Academy. Both of these kids coming into the visit, it was really like, look, you got teams like LSU, Texas A&M for Forstall, KJ Green, every team up and down the East Coast, all the way up and down the coast, and then every other SEC team. And Miami was after this kid, and it was about fit. They tried to get him on campus last season. They tried to get him on to camp, and it was a big deal for them to finally get him. Shout out to the staff, the new recruiting staff that's really focusing on the South Florida and the East Coast, going up and down the East Coast. Charlie Partridge, shout out to them to be able to get KJ Green, aka Spider-Man, on campus. I think they did a great job with both guys. Now, can they get both, especially Green? If they can get Green on campus for an official visit during that big weekend, June 12th, when they're trying to create that one big weekend the same way they created last year, the 26th class, that seems to be that June 12th weekend. And so if they can get him back around some of the other commits and big-time recruits, maybe they can really make a dent with him in his recruitment. ZAIRE Forrestal is a kid. His family loves Notre Dame. Like, his family loves Notre Dame. He likes Notre Dame. It's just about him, like I said, having to be shown why Notre Dame, for multiple reasons, is the absolute best choice he can make. Another 27 player, Aiden O'Neal, from the East Coast, out of New Jersey area. This young man, he comes in. I wouldn't put him on the same level as KJ Green and Forrestal. Probably he's a little bit more raw, but man, he can really make some plays against the run and rushing the passer. They did a good job with him as well. Braden Parks, I know that's what everybody's waiting for. Braden Parks was with two of his teammates, 28 tight end, Jack McNamara, and then you have 28 edge rusher, the second best, I think the third best edge rusher in the nation, Cameron McGee. They were with him. But Braden Parks, man, he came in, and honestly, Oregon and Ohio State had really made a strong push on Braden Parks during the contact period, and things got a little bit interesting. Notre Dame was in the lead, in my opinion. They're in the lead, in my opinion. And if the same defensive line coach was still at Notre Dame, I think they would be close to getting a commitment. That's just my opinion. But the change in coaches left things a little bit in limbo. The strong push from Ohio State and Oregon, which are his other spring visits, I think it's going to be really important. And two of his official visits that have been set, I think it's going to be really important. I thought it was really important for Notre Dame to really establish that nothing has changed as far as what he can expect from Notre Dame, and the coaching and technical aspect of Charlie Partridge in practice really stood out with Braden Parks. Really stood out with Braden Parks. And then just everything else that was done this weekend went a long way to reassuring, in my opinion, that Notre Dame is right there. They're the leader for Braden Parks. Jackson Dollar, Notre Dame came in as the leader for him. Some people have him as the top tight end. Seneca Driver is another top tight end. And this is another visit. Notre Dame feels like they leave with him going into other visits, and they feel like they may, stretched out the lead for Jackson Dollar. He's a heck of a hooper. If you haven't watched his basketball highlights, go watch his basketball highlights, ladies and gentlemen. You can get a pretty good idea of the type of athlete this young man is. He's absolutely amazing. I talked to Joakim Gouda, linebacker from Georgia, 4-star linebacker. And look, his relationship with Coach Brian Jean-Marie is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. His interest in Notre Dame now is really an all-time high. And what stood out from him, he kept telling me, like, yo, I didn't know. He's like, you hear about Notre Dame, but when I really heard everything about the history of Notre Dame and the tradition, it blew him away. It really blew him away. And he was really engaged, asking questions, and wanted to know more about the history and the tradition. And he is really connected to what he said the conversation between him and Marcus Freeman was, which was the rich history and tradition and getting Notre Dame back to the pinnacle. He's like, Marcus Freeman really believes that he's going to do that. That stood out to him. Like the belief that Marcus Freeman has kind of caused him to want to be cause him to gravitate to it and to possibly want to jump on board. So we'll get him back on campus for an official as well. I think Noah Glover is going to come back for an official, and they made a big move with him as well. Then Zayden Gamble, who's a teammate at St. Thomas Aquinas, 4-star safety out of St. Thomas Aquinas. Florida, Miami. It is coming into this visit, they were the top schools. But man, look, coming out of the weekend, he spent a lot of time with Joey O'Brien and Aiden Pouncey, who he had a previous relationship through 7-on-7. And they worked on him. The Notre Dame staff worked on him. The relation he has with Julius Jones Jr. and Julius Jones Jr. and his father, Julius Jones, are always in his ear about why Notre Dame is the right place. And then Aaron Henry did an incredible job. Aaron Henry, that's all I heard from all the defensive backs that were on campus. Like Aaron Henry's personality, he's magnetic, a strong man of faith, but he can teach, man. He's an incredible communicator and teacher. And it was evident during the practice for these young men. So Zayden Gamble is another young man that you're definitely going to see back for an official. And Notre Dame made up considerable ground this week. Now, Julian Caldwell, wide receiver out of Texas. I just had to say that. Let me finish the story. I spoke to Julian briefly. He said the visit was great, but I spent time talking to his mom. And the story behind Julian Caldwell is his entire family is based in Indiana. His mom grew up a Notre Dame fan. She's a huge Notre Dame fan. And she flat out said the visit was better than they could ever have imagined.
Look at that.
She said it went better than she could have ever imagined for her son, not for herself. She spoke on behalf of her son and said, yo, it went better than you could have imagined for him. Notre Dame has made a considerable ground. You're talking about them, Texas Tech, Texas, of course, all the Southern schools, but the connection, the family, having family in Indiana, this young man is going to come back. Mike Brown, incredible job. Absolutely incredible job. Now you got some more killers coming in the month of April. So get on them. 28 class. Jackson Vaughn spoke to him and his dad this weekend. Notre Dame killed. Dude, they lead. Notre Dame leads for Jackson Vaughn. Just flat out. They lead for Jackson Vaughn in 28 class. And then he's a 5-star, top 25 kid. Phoenix Evans is another kid, best friends with Jackson Vaughn. He was on campus as well. He's now at IMG. That young man had an incredible visit. He talked about the relationship that he built up with Aaron Henry. Jack McNamara, tight end out of Brother Rice. Come on, man. He's Jack McNamara. His entire family are Notre Dame fans. He's an Irish kid that goes to a Catholic school in Chicago. Let's get it. And look, it's simple. He knows what the deal is. He's going on the rest of his spring visits, but Notre Dame definitely leads for him as well. Notre Dame, Neiman Lawrence, the quarterback, was on campus. Left loves him.
Loves him.
Like, that's the dude.
That's the dude.
I'm texting DENBROCK. DENBROCK did him. You saw it live on this podcast. Left watched his film as a freshman. Wasn't a sophomore film. Left watched his freshman film and said, yo, go get that dude. Lucas Prop, another big-time talent. We'll check out his film later this week for Left. He was on campus as well. Gino Gaduli, let me tell you, Teddy Gerard, and these two kids, he is definitely going after big quarterbacks with big arms. You have to love it. They did an incredible job with both kids. And last but not least, Cameron McGee, 2028 edge rusher, Brother Rice out of Chicago. This kid told me what he saw this weekend made a big impact on him in his recruitment. Flat out. Coach Partridge Charlie Partridge did an incredible job with this young man. And then Marcus Freeman sealed the deal. Marcus Freeman flat out told him, look, you're great. You can do great things, but you're just going to have to buy in. You're just going to have to buy into it. You're going to have to buy into Notre Dame. You have to buy into what this means to be part of this program. And that's that. And that conversation with Coach Freeman has stuck with that young man. Notre Dame's a special place. Staff, Charlie Partridge, Marcus Freeman, incredible job. Everybody, staff, the people, the campus, workers, students, everybody did an incredible job. Rave reviews about everything and every facet of Notre Dame this weekend. Absolutely incredible. I mean, they killed this weekend, bro. They killed this weekend.
That's right. That's how we do
They
it.
killed it. They killed it. Lucky Lefty podcast. Let's get to these GTBs and get out of here, Left. Joseph Baird 3860 says, SD, what about Vanderbilt? Michaela Blakes is a serious talent. Indeed, will need contributions from Prosper, Moore, DeJesus, and Bransford. It's not enough. I just don't think it's going to be enough. I just don't. I agree with you. Everybody has to play well. The person that's the key, in my opinion, is Moore. Moore has to hit threes. I need at least 4 threes from Moore. At least 3. D-Mom, what's the fool lover says, do you guys have a sleeper player that people don't expect to perform big? I think Aeneas is going to perform big.
I think so too.
I think Aeneas Williams is going to have an incredible year.
My favorite player right now.
I think he's been waiting for this opportunity, and I think people are so rightfully so. They're looking at what Notre Dame is losing in the running back room, and I think he's going to shock a lot of people. That's just the way I see it. Great show, Left.
That's right.
Tap in, subscribe on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. Don't forget audio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Bleav Network, FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Go over there, download the FanDuel app. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have great conversation, and we'll dig a little more into the spring and what's been going on and what's been buzzing.
That's right.
And we'll watch film on Lucas Proc tomorrow, Left. Left. SD2 my left is like, man, I've seen Neiman Lawrence. Don't show me anybody else.
Don't show me anybody else. We're good. Neiman Lawrence, Notre Dame. Hey, we love it.
Have a great evening. Make sure you continue to spin it
Different.
different.